The other one in here is we've got, during this year, the probably the opening of the Geotourism Center in Driggs. Again, that impacts everybody in the district and most of eastern Idaho. And we believe there ought to be some attention to what we put together for an opening. Nick Gailey, who's the new ITT chairman, I believe is going to be on the committee. There are several that are getting involved in it. We certainly want to deal with Karen. But the question is, when the time comes, have we put our best foot forward for Idaho in the way of the exhibits? And do we have an opening that does its does a good job for everybody? My understanding is all three governors want to attend. It's already attracting some noise, but that'll be another element. Now, lots of things have changed with us, and they keep changing, and even the missing things here give you an indication of the speed with which that keeps changing. I thought what I'd like to do is yield my last minute or so here to Julie Bryan. Julie is the owner of Windermere Real Estate in Jackson, Teton Valley, and soon to be Idaho Falls, I understand. She's the new chairman of Teton Valley Marketing Committee, which is a broad-based sponsored committee of all kinds of industries. But I thought you've heard me for a long time talking about this stuff. I thought it would be useful, first of all, to introduce you to a new face who might end up replacing me one of these days in this kind of a presentation, which probably will deny. But in any event, to be able to give you a reaction that the community is, in fact, with what we're trying to do. Anyway, Julie.
Thank you for allowing me the time to speak. There has to be a reason for people to come to an area, and so I want to speak just briefly about the difference that is happening in our community. Teton Valley, and how much time would I have? Okay. Teton Valley, Idaho is transformed into an extremely green community, actually with the new ordinance that was passed and the preservation of the lands contained in our area. This ordinance, combined with efforts to revitalize the downtown area, are producing an extremely enhanced area for a tourist or traveler to come and visit. The key sponsorship from National Geographic fits into the tourism and travel industry venue as well as the preservation venue. People travel to beautiful and well-preserved areas, and ours is absolutely that. We're not only concentrating on just our area, but the entire Idaho region. I'm working directly with Grow Idaho to actually link together a number of different places in Idaho with a chain of events such as tourism, trade shows, hotel stays, and different things that interconnect a lot of different areas in Idaho, not just Teton Valley. We're also working with the ski area in promoting things that will bring tourism and bring up that bed count. We need more beds to bring up the bed count. That is actually in the works. Our website has been updated to handle this online processing. And so with the National Geographic and the linking of all of the different areas in the state, you're actually going to see a tremendous increase in our membership count. And so what Reed was alluding to as far as perhaps the budgeting would be somewhat of a bridge until we can get that membership count up, which we've actually been diligently working on. And I understand that we have limited time here, but a real person capable of handling and capturing that person on the other end is critical. Starts out with a great web, but if you don't have the person to service that actual real live caller to transform them into somebody who's excited about coming to our area, then it's of no value. And so that is where we step in to bring people and show them the excitement, enthusiasm of our area, and not so that they just come out here for one visit, but they keep coming back and back to our entire state. So thank you for your time. Here.
Questions of either one of us?
Reed, I have a question on element 7. I'm not quite sure where that falls in on the grant program. Can you explain element 7 a little bit better? That's the Geotourism Center. How does that fall into the ITC?
Geotourism Center is an agreement with National Geographic to add a physical location to their geotourism map project. It'll be the first time in the world this has ever been done. It will receive their unequivocal support as far as marketing through their network, much of which is in the internet. But to have an unqualified endorsement by National Geographic for an attraction in Idaho, you can't pay for it. I mean, that's worth more money than we all have together. This thing is designed to be, in a sense, it's a gigantic visitor center. It started out to be a visitor center and interpretive center for the scenic byway. And that got converted over, and against that, there's about $1 million worth of public money that's been committed to building it. So there will be a facility that basically is a gateway for the eastern Idaho byways and is a historic interpretation of not only eastern Idaho, which it was originally intended to do, but basically as a reflection of the greater Yellowstone area generally as a region. We think that it's in the making one of the better attractions that Idaho as a state will have, and certainly one of the better ones in eastern Idaho. How many thousands of people that will draw, I don't know. The fact that they put it on their map, which we gave you a copy of, before it was built is somewhat extraordinary. But aside from that, the last time they did one of these map projects in the east, the tourism count went up by about 600% the next year. So the expectation of what will draw by their endorsement is enormous. We see it being not only an attraction, but an ongoing educational institution. There are people talking about doing a hospitality certification program out of there to teach people how to interpret history or also how to work in the service industry. The top 10 people are talking about doing a certification program for businesses that are on those roadways on how to better service a tourist. Most of these programs are beginning to intertwine with each other. So what we see happening is the creation of a major attraction which could have unlimited benefit to the state. There is a good question. I would think either City Council in the next week or so. Hopefully, contracts will be let sometime in the next 30 days. So it's coming.